Alright everybody, hello and welcome to the International Overwatch League Minors. I am Chaos. I am back after a 4 or 5 week long absence. I was away dealing with stuff, but I'm back here for week 5 and we're casting a tier 2 game tonight, Spuds versus Overlords, and I'm here with Psyche, my co-caster here tonight.
Hey! I'm really excited to see the Spuds versus the Overlords. I'm excited to see who will come out on top and see who's going to take... I believe Overlords is in 3rd place, so if they win this, they'll be pushed to 2nd. And I'm
actually, from the standings that I see right now from my phone, I have Spuds listed as 3-1 with 11 points on the board, and Overlords with 1-3 with 4 points on the board. So, if Overlords come out on top, even with a 3-2 record, that'll push them to 7 points and push Spuds to 13. So, it won't bring them to 2nd place, but they'll be closer to it if they can shut Spuds down 3-0 and win their week 6 game as well. That could potentially push them into 2nd place. So, not just for Group A, but for Group B and every other tier, it seems to come down to these last 2 weeks, depending on which teams can win or lose. Depends on what standing they'll be going into the playoffs this season.
And I am excited for that. I'm very happy to be here tonight. So I am checking to see if both teams are ready so that we can watch them play. I can't believe we're already on Season 5, Week 5. Season 5 in general, but Week 5.
Yeah, the season's been going by quick. I know I haven't been around for people to see me cast as much lately. I've been gone for a while, but I was able to be here tonight, so hopefully it goes well, and we'll see a tough fight ahead of us. The last time I saw Overlords play, I think it was in week 1 when I casted that game, and they put up a very good fight, so I'm looking forward to this.
Me too. They are ready.
A few of the names... Okay, so we'll jump into the first map, which is Ilios, and then we'll head to Rialta for map 2.
Sorry for interrupting.
Now arriving at Ilios.
Banana is in spec. Oh, pausing. Pausing. Banana, where's Banana? I got it. Blue. Okay.
Justice to be done. Hello.
Do not deviate from the plan, and victory will be ours.
So it looks like we're seeing... let me see who's on which side. I forget already.
Spuds are
Spuds
blue,
is...
and Overlords is pink for me, but red.
4, 3, 2, 1.
So Overlords is running with a Reinhardt and Sigma, which I am so used to seeing a Reinhardt and Diva on control maps. It's very interesting to see a Sigma being brought into play.
I've actually seen that a lot.
And
A lot of people have been using Sigma and Ryan lately in a lot of the games.
Spuds teleported. Spuds teleported directly on top, and now they have control of the point.
Ooh, Token was able to boot it.
Nice boot. Ashe is being uncontested right now up top left. For Spuds, trying to get an early pick on either a DPS or a tank. Looks like Overlords are kind of stalled up there up top, but they do have the microwave set up in the point, ready for them to jump on. So they gotta be ready for that. And yeah, the microwave is being effectively used already. We got 2 very quick kills pushing forward Spuds' lead.
Yeah, Pokken is doing a great job on Lucio. I've noticed the perfect times for speed boosting and healing, and all the boosts that he's doing, I think he's been doing, or they've been doing great on Lucio thus far.
Yeah, Lucio in control maps is kind of almost a must pick on these maps just because of the availability to get the environmental kills and just open the door for the initial team fights. So now it looks like they're going down Main Street to head right in, but they still have that microwave set up, and that they gotta get rid of those turrets. Otherwise, they're just gonna keep getting wiped out.
Yeah, I really like the initiative of pushing and being aggressive, but if you don't take out those turrets first, it's kind of a moot point.
Player does take out Bob, but goes down with him.
At least
If I was Overlords right now, I would switch
Death
off the
is
Sigma
an
and go to a
illusion.
monkey instead to get rid of that microwave. If I were them.
Watch yourself.
yeah, that would be a good choice.
You gotta group up here. I think they're heading in a little bit broken up here. You do have this window. Earthshatter coming in. They gotta get rid of that support.
I was able
There we
to
go,
take
then.
out Queen, who's about to use the base side. But outside of that,
He does have to get out of there.
outside of that push was very... Oh no, they capped the point. That was a great push. I was confused for a second because I didn't see... I don't know what happened with my screen, but it went from not being capped to cap, and now we're on 18%. So, that push did really good, and Overlord was able to capture that point.
Yeah, Tracer going in to initiate a quick stall.
Oh, good block.
Trace Spuds. Eagle Bomb coming in. I think that went out the back. I don't know where that bomb went. Tracer's gotta be careful, else she does go down.
There is still much
And
to be
it's
done.
kind of a back and forth right now, but I still think Overlord has possession.
Yes, they do. Player was able to effectively stop, I can't see his name because of my name, but Frankenstein, was able to stop Frankenstein's, shadow. It was an awesome block. Yeah, huge
Very
shatter
big
from
Earth Shatter.
Player.
That's gonna push their lead a bit forward. They got one last strong push in them before this round's over, so they gotta
Take your medicine.
That was a huge
possibly go
dagger.
up top and jump down on point. They don't have any. They got one pulse bomb. No, two. One. Tracer does die with that pulse bomb, which is just brutal. Window coming in, but they gotta get these picks now. That Junkrat's gonna.
Yep. Setting up. But they might be able to.
Sorry. If this might be it. Space Spuds might take round one here.
Yeah, in my opinion,
And
the
nope.
Rex should have backed off and moved up with his team rather than staggered, because his death is going to take longer for him to get back to the plane. Versus if he would have just backed off. He would have went off the edge as Rex was going.
This is close, but Space Spuds is still might be possession, but Overlord is still in this, so not out just yet. There we go. That's gonna be it.
They won the first. It was a very close match, though.
That could have been an easy turnaround in Overlord's favor because they were starting to get numbers back on the point. So as long as they kept one person to stall, they could have regrouped and got a mass number and then pushed in.
Justice will be done. Acknowledge. Ain't much.
It looks like Space Buds are starting out with a Rhine Zarya combo, while Overlords are going with a Sigma Rhine.
Yeah, the Ryan Sigma is very unusual for control points from what I've seen. I'm so used to the Diva or Zarya being used on these maps.
Right.
So I'm not sure if they want to stick with it, especially, well, they did switch off the Symmetra, so it might work now. But when they run a Symmetra, I personally would not use a Sigma here, I would use a Monkey. And Queen did switch over to Mercy. I think they were on a last second decision to switch over to Mercy.
Looks like Overlord.
Stitch just picked up the early kill on Junkrat.
Overlord is kind of heavily spread out right now. Okay, they're grouping up again. seems
Overlord
like
taking the first cap, but they got nobody. They have nobody on point to cap it. Now we got to get on point to cap this point.
alright, there it is. They capped the first point. Now they're just trying to keep Space Buds from getting anywhere near the point.
They had Baptiste window available for Space Buds. Reinhardt does go off the edge.
Freaking time! Yeeted himself off the edge.
I've done that too, so I can relate to that.
I don't play right now, so I can't say that. But
Yeah, when you're I was gonna say a joke.
battle. Sometimes you throw yourself off the edge.
I had something else in mind, but I'm gonna keep it PG and not go that route.
Oh, why?
Big rest coming in from Mercy on the Ana on Avatar from Avatar Joy.
Heroes never die.
We got a good few
Still
ults
being
from both teams. Avatar Joy just used his Mercy's ult, and so did Queen, but we have Spriggan who has High Noon, Cerberus who has Shatter, and then with Fire, and
Overlord does have 3 ults at the ready, whereas Space Buds only have 2 ults at the ready, but they still have possession right now. Ash does go down to Cap. You know what, I'm just gonna say McCree, screw it.
I
know.
say McCassidy. I'm not even gonna follow you.
I'm
so
not even
bad
gonna
at
say Cass
remembering.
anymore. I'm just gonna say McCree. I don't care anymore.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I'm so used to McCree. I'm just gonna stick with it.
Oh. Let's see if Overlord can take back the point. They're about to have a Sigma's ult as well. My hope is that they
Anger
don't
Chatter coming up from behind.
ult dump on everyone and waste all their ults at once.
I'm seeing a trend here so far. Reinhardt likes to charge off the edge on Ilios for some reason. Maybe he wants to go for a swim.
Perhaps.
I do know a particular voice line on last Reinhardt mentioned something about his tan. So maybe that's what he's trying to do. Yeah, a little bit. Maybe he's just... Let's take...
And they still have 3
very,
ults to spare.
Yeah, they've been capping it at very unique times where the fight's kind of spread out all over the place, not contested directly on the point, whereas usually it's focused on there, but they've been kind of some on left, some on right, some in the center.
Right.
Enemy barrier unstable.
I'll make it work.
Big grab coming in.
Oh, that
Get
ass
him in
guy.
there. Unfortunately.
Ooh.
Oh, Reinhardt got moved in the air, but Bob still. Still really got to get on point to get this next cap. Reinhardt is about to die. Almost gets in. He's already on point with Sigma. Doesn't get the Mercy or the res on Reinhardt. Just Mercy on point to stall now. She gotta get out of there.
Man, they're
Nice
still
double
going.
kill from McCree.
And Space Buzz was able to cap right at 99%.
Rest in peace.
They got about
This is gonna be
10
the
more seconds until.
you have Tyre sitting up top, so Junkrat's gonna be waiting for them to group up so he can get either a double or a possible triple if they can get on point to stall.
They should be. They should all be going to point right now.
Junkrat's looking for it. He's looking for that moment to.
There we
Here they
go.
come. This is his moment, and he got it.
Yep, he got
Those
a
tanks
double.
are.
Both kings. They were able to.
And another double from Nayari.
Nairi.
Nayari.
Yes, Nairi.
So Green does block, Rawhide does block kill on, I think that's Hammer. But it's still coming. They still have about 3 numbers on point, even though the numbers are dwindling. Just Hammond on point now to stall. Grab, but does not get anybody in it.
Unfortunate, but
Hammond jumped off just a little. He ran off, but he couldn't get back on in time.
that was a close win. Space Buds are now 1-0. Let's see this play of the game. Big shatter. Huge shatter.
Yeah, especially with that amplified boost from Reinhardt's ult that it killed that does 200 extra more damage. If they're within, I think, 2 or 3 meters, it does 200 more. So yeah, they do take the early lead on Ilios. Now we head to Rialto.
Rialto. I meant to take everybody back to lobby, not just myself. Okay. Let us get everything switched over for Rialto. Switch the sides. Swap all.
I actually, you don't have to, I was gonna say, you didn't have to switch the sides after this map. You could have done it afterwards, but...
Oh, I can just switch them back. That's fine. I would rather. Ta-da!
Yeah, from a control point to one of these maps, you don't have to change it. It's only between, like, this map and, whatchamacallit, Eichenwald that we switch. Control points to these, you can just leave it.
Awesome.
But we actually have a game about to start soon on the first Twitch account, which is for, if I can look it up and remember which one that is. It's Hyperion versus Morgan. That's about to start in about 5 or 10 minutes on the first Twitch account. If anybody wants to head over and watch them compete tonight, you guys will see them go head to head to see who comes out on top in that matchup. For those teams, they are in Group B, and they are Hyperion is 2-2 with 6 points on the board, and Morgan is 0-4 right now with no wins on the board, but with 4 points. So if Morgan were to come out on top in their game tonight, that'll put them in 3rd place and put Hyperion just barely in 4th, even though they have 2 wins. But for this game, it'll put Overlords at 2-3 if they win, and it'll put Space Buds at 4-1 if they win tonight. So again, it's these last 2 games are going to decide how the playoffs decide and who faces who going into the playoffs, which will be in, I think, 4 weeks, 3 or 4 weeks. I think there's a bye week after week 6. So after we finish that up, then we'll head into that where, let me see if I can pull up how that's going to go down. I believe Tier 1 is a double elimination since there's only 3 teams involved. And for Tier 2, all teams will be entering the playoffs, but it'll be single elimination for every team. So if they lose 1 round, they are eliminated.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I wasn't sure how like, I knew that they were going to play all teams for Tier 2, but I was unsure how they were going to go about that, and that's awesome.
Yeah, so regardless of wins and losses throughout the season, every team will participate in the playoffs this season, different than Season 4, but it'll be single elimination, so where you place in terms of win-losses before the playoffs will decide who you play against and what your odds are going into it. So the top teams may have a better chance in week 1 of the playoffs compared to other teams where it may be more of a challenge. But we don't know yet. We got to see how the rest of these next 2 weeks play out. The only difference, as I said, will be for Tier 1, since there's only 3 teams involved. They will have to face each other twice to be eliminated. So if they lose once, they still have a chance to bounce back from it. As for the other teams, Tier 3 and 4, I believe it's the same way. Single elimination for all teams. but I am not 100% sure on that. I believe that's what it is, though.
That's a really interesting way to go about doing that.
Yes, it's very, it's different than the way Season 4 played out. I don't remember exactly how much different it is, but it was a different setup than they ran with. But this time, since I think we were a few teams short, I don't think as many signed up this time as last time. So they had to fix it accordingly to compensate for the lack of teams this time around. I don't think Tier 5 didn't have any teams, I don't think.
Not this,
It was just
no.
tiers, it was just tiers 1 through 4. 4 has 3 different groups, so they have 12, no. Is it 12 teams? No. I think they have like 10.
You know more than
Tier
I do,
3,
Mr. Manager.
Tier 3 has Tier 3 has 4 groups, which is the largest group out of all 4 tiers. Let's see. I think there are about 12 or 13 in that one. So now we're just waiting on, I guess, both sides to start off. Going into Rialto, though, this map, we're going to see Space Spuds on the defense with Overlords on the attack. And we're seeing Rex and Claire on tanks. I know I'm going to say it wrong again.
Nairi.
Nairi. I'm going to get it right at some point. Nairi and Stitch coming off with DPS. Avatar J and Scotty on support. As far as what I would suggest they run with on attack for Rialto, I would start off with a heavy Ryan and honestly the Diva and Zarya for me. And then if they wanted to switch up and put Sigma on the defense, that to me would be better. Looks like they changed it to Claire and Scotty put Scotty on tank now with Rex.
Yeah, and then it's going to be Isis. And, oh, yeah, Isis in easy mode. They look the exact same from where I am right now. And Joe and Jay. Okay, quick draw, Joe. And
I'm surprised we haven't seen Joe in game. Oh wait, wow. Joe's actually on. Oh yeah, he can't play tank. He's too high.
oh yeah, we didn't make sure anybody was unprivate. Please make sure everyone's profile is public. I really need to stop talking when I type.
It fills in the space, so don't worry about it.
I know,
Joe,
I apologize in advance for the times in between games where I'm not talking, and even as I've learned, because I don't think I think I may have casted with you one time, prior to, like, when I actually got into casting, but, you're really good at talking, and I am not, and so I apologize if there's a lot of times where I'm not talking, but you're saying everything that I'm thinking, and I don't really want to talk over you because you say it in a lot better manner than I do. All right.
well, I mean, Queen has told me, plus Jack, that I speak in a more professional monotone type voice, which is kind of good and bad, since it's kind of like a straightforward voice that doesn't change up or down.
You know,
And I need to work on that a little bit.
I thought that when I first met you, but I don't really think that anymore. Like, at first I thought you were pretty straightforward and just monotone, but I don't know if it's this game or what, but you've gotten a lot better, at least, with, you know, changing the emotion in your voice. Kudos to you.
It's a work in progress, but I'm getting there.
You're doing great. Can I go into the water? Oh, it won't let me go into the water. Sorry. Oh my God.
I'm sure we'll see. Well, based on what we're seeing so far with Space Buds, we do see a Roadhog and a Rhine, so we're probably going to see some environmental kills, either in the early beginning here at the lake, or up front at the end of the first cap on Rialto. So I'm sure we'll see somebody take a dip in the pool at some point during this map tonight.
As of right now, it looks like both teams are running May as well, so that's going to be interesting.
So it looks like,
Racer May
God,
and a
uh,
Junkrat May.
the word out. Overlord is apparently taking my advice with Reinhardt and D.Va to start off for their support. Now, if I were Tracer, I would go deep in their backline, force the jump on her. She is going up top to get Junkrat. Does fall back. They do get past the initial bridge, whereas Roadhog usually tends to get his first hook for the environmental kill. May quickly forcing Spacebuds to fall forward.
Yeah, Overlord was pushing pretty hardcore and succeeding in doing so. They're not really letting Spacebuds bully them into pulling back, or pulling back and kind of getting off the payload.
I just had a nice shot between Roadhog and that Tracer. That's always very hard to do, is getting solid hook on a good Tracer. That was a good job from them.
And
Rex does go.
Spacebuds has won that first fight.
This will heal you.
Yep, they gave up a lot of ground to get it, but they did bring them down, so now they're going to do that about 2.5 more times if they want to hold them to this first point. Joe does pick an early kill on Roadhog. That's going to be crucial since they can't res that.
And
They do have a Pharah coming into play now.
I've been seeing a lot more Zenyatta being played too as well, which is great. Oh, we already have a tire coming, and they were able to get 3 picks off of Overlord.
So nice job from them being able to stall with that double Junkrat tire. And now they did switch off the Tracer to go to Junkrat. Actually, no. They switched from Tracer to Pharah. That's why I was trying to figure out what side. Since they don't really have any sort of contestant for air, this is going to be a problem if Pharah can go uncontested and just get deep in their backline.
Those are some great picks from Overlord off of Spacebuds.
Pharah's going all the way in the back, but they do switch to a soldier to counter, so now they're dog fighting it out right now.
That was a really quick counter too. Kudos to them. The payload. All right, cool.
We just take down Pharah. May all come in. I probably would have held on to that just a little bit more until the rest of the team was there.
Well, if I was icing the May on Overlord, I would have walled off that entrance when May did that, so that they wouldn't have been able to reach them so quickly. They would have given them some time had to go around the wall and whatnot. She would have put that wall up.
30 seconds remaining.
So Spacebuds, again, another strong hold, so now Overlord only has one last minute push to get in there, otherwise Spacebuds are going to hold them to the first point.
Yep, they went Lucio instead of Zenyatta, which I think is a great push.
Tracer's going to try and go in their backline again.
I personally always like to mix burst healing with like area healing. That's just me. I feel like that ult could have waited. Oh,
And I do think, I think Overlord's going to stop them here on the first push without getting that cap. And they do.
They do.
A little unfortunate for Overlords, but they can still pull this out.
Yeah, if they do a really strong hold
right
in the beginning, then they should have no problem winning the second round.
Switching sides. Initiating match.
I'm just going to suggest it because I don't see him being played that much. Pull out the Bastion, boys. Just bring out the tank.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't like doing that because it's almost like an unspoken rule not to pull out Bastion.
Well, desperate times call for desperate
You
measures.
don't want to be that team, you know, that wins. They couldn't win, so they had to pull out the Bastion.
Ready for battle.
I would do it. No, they did it. They heard me. They heard me.
They both did it. We have an attack and defensive bastion.
I guess Light was right. I guess both Queen and Jack were right when they said I'm a witch and I have cauldron sitting in front of me, and I can predict people's
Resistance is
picks before the map even starts. This started in season 4 during Halloween, and Light and Jack always gave me not grief, but teased me a bit, saying, "Oh, you're a witch." I guess I really am a witch, because if I can predict this almost every game, I guess I'm just not good.
Perhaps.
But they are running with the Rhine and Sigma again, with the Bastion up top. So
Yep.
it's in terms of heals, I probably would have brought out maybe a Mercy instead to boost the Bastion, but this should work too.
It looks like Space Buds actually played Congo instead of Bastion.
They did switch over to the Sombra, which is going to be a big problem, but they're giving up a lot of ground.
They were Space Buds. He was able to efficiently take out that Bastion and the Rhine. And
That's crucial. They're not going to have long to recover from this.
not at all. If Ash can, I don't think they're gonna have that much time to recover at all, like you said. No.
Yeah, they got the bridge held up. Oh, he got the pin, but he did not get. Oh yeah, he did get the kill. They got both supports. This is their chance. They gotta hold it right here. They still have the Bastion, so they're still holding on to that. Yep, that's a stop for them. Now they gotta hold it right here for under 3 minutes to go
I will give.
if they want to win this.
I will give Space Buds some kudos. They have been really good at countering pretty much everything that Overlords have thrown at them.
Yeah, you're right about that. Everything they seem to run with, they always have somebody with the ability to counter them. Why can I not switch? There we go.
Yeah, they have done an excellent job at countering whatever Overlords have thrown at them.
Early kill on the Bastion and Ash. It's going to be good nut on Zenyatta too. Dragons coming in right across the bridge. Big Earth Shatter, which that should be it. Hammond trying to stall.
Yep, I think that's
That's
it.
going to be it.
Yep, Space Buds win
And Space
again.
Buds they take Rialto.
2-0. So if they win this next map, which will be Eichenwald, that will be matched. They will win this game.
Play of the game.
Don't say more than
Surrender to my will.
using her Kamehameha from Dragon Ball Z, as I call it. I know that's not what it's called, but still, that's what it reminds me of.
You know what? You do you. If it reminds you, I say go for it.
I can't be the only one who thinks that. It's got to remind other people of that too.
Yeah, probably. Alright, back to lobby we go. Let's get the map switched to Eichenwald. Or Vald.
Now we switch sides.
Yeah. I always switch sides after
now-
every game. I should probably... Ooh, excuse me. Not do that. Just after the second game, not the first. Alright, swap.
So now we're gonna see Overlords on the defense with Space Buds on the attacks. On the attack. Bleh. So we'll see if they come out with a strong push and see if Overlords can match it.
I really wish, you know how you can move all? I wish it would change the names too. It would make it that much easier.
Yeah, I know it doesn't. It doesn't move them. It doesn't move the spectators either.
No. Weird. I hope you're listening, Overwatch. You're not, but I hope you are. Okay, Queen is... Oh gosh. We'll do Stitch Blue.
So as it stands right now, looking at the the stats for Tier 2 with the two maps that Space Buds have in the lead right now. That pushes them to 13 points, one ahead of Blood Moon Knights. Even though Blood Moon is 4-0, they haven't lost a game yet. That temporarily pushes them into first place. But with Blood Moon's game coming up this Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we'll see if they can retain their lead against Ohana Sirens to maintain their first place lead. But if Blood Moon were to fall to Sirens, that would put Space Buds in first place if they win 3-0 tonight. So like I said earlier, it's literally comes down to who wins these last 2 weeks. Some teams could wind up in first when they could have been in second or third. It's kind of like the equivalent of the NFL. It's going to come down to these last few games and who makes it in the top seeds and who doesn't. So it's all up in the air. So I mean, in Tier 1, Zomnix pulled a major upset, getting their first win against Ohana Vipers, who were in first place. So that pushed them on the board a little bit, which gives Experienced Salvation the chance to take first place from Ohana, since they had their first loss. That puts both teams at a 2-1 record, with Ohana sitting at 7 points and Experienced Salvation sitting at 6 points. So when Experience and Ohana meet for their game, if Experience can come out on top in that one, that'll push them to 9. And if Ohana loses, that'll put them at the same thing. It'll be 9-9. But it'll put Experience in first place because they did win that matchup, even if it ends with a 3-2 record. So that'll be the last week for Tier 1, since this week was a bye week, since there was only 3 teams. But that's what it's gonna come down to for Tier 1. So if they can win that game, that'll put them in first for the playoffs. And for this game here tonight, it's gonna come down to the games that are set up for the rest of the week. The other Tier 2 games we have that are set up for the weekend are Blood Moon and Ohana, which is Sunday at 8:30. We have let's see, what's the other ones? We have Experience Tranquility and Ohana Black Coral Sunday at 5:30 Eastern Time. So we have those 2 games, and we have Hyperion and Morrigan going on right now as we're casting this game. That one's also being casted live. So if you guys want to tune in to the first Twitch account for IOWL, that one's being casted live. I believe, I'm not sure who's casting that game, though. I don't know if it's Jack or Light or Queen. I don't know who. No, it's Swan and Plain Disrespect. They're casting that one. So if you guys want to tune in to watch them play and see how that one turns out, we'll know at the end what the stats are going to be afterwards, in terms of how it affects Group A and B going into week 6.
You're so knowledgeable.
You got to do your research about these things. You got to make sure everybody's up to date on who's in the top spots. That's our job for this. Make sure everybody's aware of what's coming. You got to be like the commentators for the NFL. Make sure everybody's knowledge or.
That's the problem. I don't watch football. I'm just going to be honest, and I'm probably going to get crapped on for this, but I have no idea what you just, like, anything of what you just said. I'm glad you're here, because I don't know these things. You're sitting here talking statistics, and it's nice, and I'm like, that's awesome, but I don't know what makes someone go ahead of someone else. I'm like, they're winning. Does that put them ahead? I don't know. So I'm glad, and I'm pretty sure the people that are watching are glad that you're here to explain that, because I'm dumb. I don't know these things. I'll admit it.
I wouldn't say that.
I'm here for a good time. That's what I'm here for.
Well, I think that's what Jack, Queen, and Light, why they like having me around, because I can give everybody the speech on what's to come for the next coming weeks. while we also have other things that are in motion besides the casting we have for this, we have the potential podcast that was revived, that was unfortunately canceled a while back because we didn't have enough people, but now it's we're going to try to launch it pretty soon, probably within the next couple of weeks, if we can figure out a set time for doing pre-show podcasts and aftermaths at the end of the week.
Right. And see, that's
So we'll have that. And
I'm so excited
Go
for
ahead.
the new podcast and whatnot. I'm a part of that, and I'm more interested in post-match statistics than I am pre-match. I love talking about highlights, and I just think that overall, like, a good podcast will be good for the org because it'll really break down what we can't break down during casting. And we can really get into depth about, oh, this person did a great job at doing this, and this was an MVP for this week, and this game really stuck out in my mind because of this, and I'm so excited for that.
Well, then I guess I know what my role is going to have to be in for that. It's probably going to have to be the post game, not the pre-game, since I'm, as you said, efficient at giving the breakdown
Super efficient.
in the middle of the game.
10 out of 10. Super efficient. Would hire again for pre-game statistics.
So I guess we're waiting on last minute approval for both teams to head into Eichenwald, which is match point for Space Spuds versus Overlords. Overlord still has a chance to reverse sweep this, which I have seen happen many times where a team's been down 2-0 and they've reverse sweep them all the way up until mat 5 and come out on top. So they're not out of the woods just yet.
Claire and Isis are pink. Stitch and Nairi are DPS. And Scotty and Joe. So I will just move Scotty for them. And alright. Does everything look good? I told myself not to do that. I told myself to not talk while I type.
I'm sure nobody minds.
I hope not, because I don't think I'm going to be stopping anytime soon.
But as far as games to come for tomorrow night, I believe we have a couple games ready for casting on Saturday. Yes, we have Gothic Serpent versus Nesso. I hope I said that right. Tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So we'll have that game ready for you guys tomorrow. And I believe that's it for Saturday. There's two more, which we might get some casters for that one. If anything, I might be able to attend after work. So we'll see if I can make it for those two. If not both, at least one of them. And then Sunday, we have about 3 or 4 games on Sunday. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 on Sunday, actually. So it's going to come down to the last day on Sunday for the final stats to roll in as far as what's going to happen in week 6.
Which I cannot wait for. All right, everybody's ready, so here we go. We are on Eichenwald, and currently, since there's been a little time, I will go over the current score, which is Space Spuds are 2-0. If they win this game, then they will be the victors of this match.
Traveling to Eichenwald. Initiating match.
Now, Eichenwald, in Season 4, I used to do a lot of lore history buff with Jack and Light and Queen.
Oh,
This is Reinhardt's.
yeah, like with the animations they did.
Yeah, the animated short with Reinhardt and Brigitte. This was Reinhardt's home where they made their last stand against the Bastions during the Omnic War.
And Orissa's, I think. I don't think it was Bastions. I think it was Orissa's. I'm pretty sure it was
No,
Orissa's.
there were OR-14s involved in the assault on Eichenwald, but it wasn't Orissa herself.
Well, yeah, no, I call them
Attackers
Orissas, but
incoming.
I thought that they weren't Bastions. I thought that was King's Row.
No, the assault on Eichenwald was between OR-14s and Bastions. It was a combination of both.
Oh, dang. I cried like a freaking baby for about 3 hours after I watched Reinhardt's animated short. Oh boy. Oh, we'll get into that another time. But it looks like Overlords is leading with Ryan and Diva, and the Spaces are leading with Ryan and Diva as well. But they all have a Symmetra, so I'm curious to see if they're going to teleport behind and around to try to get this point lickety split.
I'm looking at the sim, and I'm like, what are you going for?
They might be trying to go up here on this rooftop over here. Yep.
Oh damn! How did you can get a teleporter up there?
I don't know now, but a few like seconds ago you could. It was a taxi stage recently. The actual Overlord.
I didn't think you could put one way up there. Yeah, I was looking at them like, what are they waiting for? I'm looking at Sim looking up at the sky. Makes me think of Reach for the Sky from Toy Story. not that I say that.
Oh wow! It looks like Space Buds were able to capture this first point to move the payload. So, will they make it all the way? I guess we will see.
Escort the payload.
Yeah, I was looking at Sim and I'm like, what are you doing? At first I thought maybe his controller shut off, and I'm like, wait a minute, did it pause? But no, he was looking to place the teleporter.
Well, they kept the sim, so let's see. I'm not usually one for attack sim, but we'll see if it works for the Space Bud.
Into the iris.
A little late on the Zenyatta to prevent Diva from being D-necked, but it might work out. Nice pin on Joe with Brigitte.
Oh, wasted. Unfortunate for Frankenstein. That big bomb from Isis was able to get Queen and Spriggan, who was Diva and Zenyatta, so now they are down both a tank and a support. Looks like Quick Draw Joe went to Brig.
That was perfectly timed from Bear to get that pin on May. I've tried that several times with Reinhardt, and I can never time it just right.
He made my name, and I thrive off of stock and shatters with my wall. It is my favorite thing to do.
Nice Earth Shatter again from Space Bats.
Much better.
V almost going down to, is that Soldier? V makes me think of V from Cyberpunk.
I love cyber. You can't say stuff like this. My ADHD kicks in, and then next thing I know, I'm not talking about the match.
I will refrain from speaking of that then. So we don't get distracted off of the current match.
No,
They do have, McCree does have high ground.
McCree was already used his ult. I wouldn't call it effective, but it did get one person into it. Was it Kima's? They were able to get a pick.
Then does have his Transcendence, so he can boot when he's ready.
Nairi
I say Shadow Flash.
Diva Bomb was the only.
Kind of a back and forth trade right now between both sides.
Yeah, you know, Overlord's is doing a really good job at holding this choke. They've done really well.
Wait, is it Overlords?
Yes, Overlord's is doing.
See, that's what I forget who's on which side sometimes.
Oh, I do too. But I know Overlord, so it's easier for me than it is for you. And that's why I'm here. Alright. It looks like Facebook was able to push the payload to the second point.
No, actually, Overlord's is on the defense.
Yeah.
Space Buds is on the attack.
Yeah, I said Overlord's is blue. Facebook's is pink. Or red. Good bomb again from Tyson. Coming in
Stitch
with
with
a
a nice
visor.
triple kill. Finally, we do see the monkey in action tonight. So far, we haven't seen Winston in play at all. So him with the Zenyatta orbs would be very nice to take down the species.
Exactly. That Anna, even Sombra. Ooh, what a
EMP.
big EMP from super effective.
We have to be careful with Reinhardt's shield. Ah, baby D.Va gets the nano.
Well, if we just land on them all, maybe that'll. Unfortunate waste of a. Ooh.
I don't know if that bomb was intentional to stay put or if she was meant to launch that.
If you like that sometimes.
People and they don't, and it still picks up the kill. I'm not sure if that was intentional or not. They do have an on in the background. They gotta be careful.
Looks like B went off. Oh, big shatter.
Nice hard on Winston from behind. Primal Rage incoming. Behind me coming in. I don't know if you got anybody there. Winston almost down. Picks up a double kill. Almost triple.
But they were able to isolate the Reinhardt, take them out, and now we see Monkey on the Kree. But
he almost had McCurry. I was watching that too. He almost had that, but
I think he should have
too
backed
deep in their
out.
spawn.
Yeah, I think he should have. Winston should have backed out. He was low on health anyway.
I know what he was going for because I've done it. He was just trying to push him out of rotation.
We see Nairi as McCree on the high ground, which is great so far. He's pretty uncontested as Cassidy. Oh no. Some unfortunate D.Va bombs tonight, but he's still working out. Like this one was able to get Nairi.
If nothing else, Overlord has brought them down to the last final push. It's not going to be that they have any time left on the clock after this, if they even cap it at all.
Right, like I said earlier, they're doing a really, really good job at holding and stopping Space Buds from advancing the payload any further.
Step right.
Got a double kill from Nairi, and that is time.
I keep saying Nairi or something weird in my head, even though I've heard you say it like 10 times already. I still can't get it right.
I feel you there.
Like, I'm hearing you say it the right way, but when I try to say it, it comes out the wrong way. I don't get it. I can't.
Mouth to brain
Blech.
function not working right now.
It's not. It's really not working. I don't know why, but I'm not getting the hint for that name. Nairi. It's. I don't know if I'm ever gonna get that name down.
Yeah, N-A-I, Nai, and then Re.
Ready
Nairi.
for battle.
That's how I teach my son. I'm like, separate
I'll
it
just-
into two.
How positive.
I'll just rely on you to speak that one. I can't do it. It's I think I'm dyslexic when it comes to that name. I can't get the word out.
That name is particular. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the other ones I can do, but that one I can't do it. It's not clicking in my head.
So, when you cast, do you use the overhead camera? Or do you...
I've been trying to get the first person to work on mine, and I can't get it to work. I changed every setting possible, but I'm stuck in third person
You have
view.
to press A.
It doesn't work. I've tried it.
Now I gotta try it. Oh no, it's up on the D-pad, not A.
Not for me, it's not. Nice early kill from Zenyatta on Bear. It's gonna stop her initial push going forward. Another kill from Zenyatta on Stitch. Zen popping off.
Yep, and it looks like Space Bud is utilizing E on Symmetra again, so they're gonna have to really focus on taking out those turrets. Right now, it looks like Overlord is kind of feeding their tank.
Winston going in for an ult charge and not getting any good. Space Bud's doing very well keeping their tanks up in the front line, protecting the Baptiste and Zen in the back.
Oh, and we have a Transcendence from Brigand. It was a good push from Overlord, but I think they were just out ulted, really.
If I were Winston, I would not target the tanks. I would just go after the Sim and the Baptiste. Do not put any of that damage on those tanks.
I think
It's going to take you too long to bring them down.
I think that's a common conception about Winston as well, because I do see a lot of people who don't target the squishies as often.
Target, but since Winston's damage output is so low, it's you gotta go after the other targets. It's the ones that you can easily take down.
Oh, unlucky tire. And a straight wall.
Oh, that wall blocked it entirely. You've got to be careful of those microwave turrets on the walls.
That's what I was saying. They really need to be more spatially aware of those turrets if they're gonna get this point, because V is doing a really good job at placement of those turrets.
Yeah, very. I mean, they're out in the open, but they're just in such a unique place that people tend to not look at. They go uncontested for
Right.
such a long time.
See this sneaky Symmetra.
Bear just going right into it, but she's got to be careful.
Rocket barrage incoming.
They were able to get a couple of picks. Wow, this Zenyatta has this transcendence again. They have just under a minute to capture this point.
Into the iris.
Transcendence from Overlord, yeah. I think that'll be enough to take the cap, and yeah, at least it should be. Tire, but does get blocked.
30 seconds remaining.
What a
Yeah, they
great
are on the
capture.
board.
My palms got a little sweaty there for a second.
Just under 3 minutes, they have to get it to the second point, and then almost to the end of the third.
Isis needs to be. Isis needs the diva for Overlord to be a little bit more cautious about her placement as diva, because at the moment she's feeding the enemy quite a bit, which is easy to do.
I can really appreciate Bear's momentum and aggression with Ryan. I do think she has to be careful a little bit, because she is aggroing a bit too much.
That could have gone better.
As of right now, it seems to be working pretty well for them. But I agree. I think.
I only say that because I watched their Ryan just go deep into their spawn and just get annihilated without any support from the Spuds.
That they need to be pushing through that matrix for you to. Oh wow. That was a going for ISIS. But they need to. This is doing a great job at being Echo using Beam.
The Bastion. You see the Bastion.
Oh, I mean, I think Overlord kind of gave them the okay for that.
That's probably going to bring. Oh, nope, not yet. Oh, there we go.
Alright, looks like we got Slayer Bear has a Saturn and Nairi has her Fire. We're not.
Spring does have a Nano Boost ready for Reinhardt when he's ready for it. Unless they give it to the Bastion.
Which they just might. I wouldn't put it past them. It would.
See, where's the Bastion? Where's that Bastion setting up?
To the right of the payload for their team.
Yeah, V's waiting right there in the corner.
That's
Yeah,
gonna be
Bear's not
hard
gonna
for them to
control.
take out. It also makes the Bastion a little bit harder to utilize because they're behind.
Yeah, the Bastion's really close to the front line. That's not wise. So there we go. That's gonna be it. Oh wait, not with that tire in motion. Nice. What do they call it?
Tank configuration activated.
Overlord might get on the board with this. I think that's going to be it. They should get on the board with this.
They should be able to. Yeah, they pushed it all the way through.
Yep.
And Overlord was able to win. So now the score is 2-1. Space Buds being 2, Overlords being 1. So we are now going into our 4th match.
Which will be on Icon World. We split on Icon World. Blizzard World. So not a full shutdown here tonight. I would have said with that for V playing Bastion, not to avoid setting up that close to the front lines. If anything, it would have been better to set up on that balcony next to where the cap was for them. Set up on that ledge, that way they have to literally chase that Bastion down. That would have given them a lot of range to take Reinhardt's shield down and the rest of the tanks while they were trying to push that. You don't want to put Bastion that close to a team fight like that because of what happened there. The Earthshatter brought him down and they just lost all their aggression with that.
Unfortunately, but honestly, it was a good game, a good match for both teams there.
Yeah, I think the momentum is starting to shift back in Overlord's favor since Space Buds took map 1 and 2 fairly quickly, and their aggression was very high. Now it seems like Overlords has brought out their inner strength and is now trying to shift it into their favor. So we'll see if they can keep it up. It still is match point in Space Bud's favor. Excuse me. But they can still turn this around and bring it into map 5, which will be on Nepal if Overlords can take Blizzard World. Which, for those who have followed Overwatch's history since 2016, that map was created as sort of a fan service for everybody who's been loyal to Blizzard's games, from World of Warcraft to StarCraft to Hearthstone, all of it. That wasn't really planned to be put in the game. That was just something that they made spur of the moment just to honor. I think that was part of the part of an anniversary for Overwatch 1 year. I think either that or it was released at random.
No, I think it was released. I think it was released for the anniversary. And it was really fun. A couple of my friends and we would 1v1 each other around that and really go around and look at all the little montages and little tributes they paid to all of their games. And I hope one day
Yeah.
that they make that a real place. That would be so awesome.
Well, I mean, I know I got a little grief about talking about this last time, but it might be possible now that Microsoft bought Blizzard out. So if we ever do see an actual Blizzard world, kind of like the equivalent of Disney, Microsoft would be the company that could pull that off, to give them the funding to actually build an attraction center like that, which would be good. Have like a roller coaster for different things, a different just amusement park in general for all their Blizzard games, kind of like BlizzCon, which they haven't hosted a BlizzCon in about 3 or 4 years because of, the whole COVID thing. But hopefully we'll see Blizzard or BlizzCon happen again either next year or the year after, since I will go to that one of these years.
Me too.
Whenever they host another one, I'll go to that and it wouldn't be right to bring my my cosplay suit, since it's not equivalent to any of Blizzard's games, but I can always get one.
Yeah, I mean, you could cosplay as any of thousands of characters that Blizzard has made over the past years. I remember playing StarCraft as a little kid.
If I did StarCraft, I'd probably go as Artanis, but that would be a hard one to make. Or even just to find a costume for. Even though people prefer High Lord Alarak over Artanis. But back to Overwatch, enough of my off topic with Star.
I think it's okay. We're just in limbo right now. So now I can talk about V. It's fine.
Yeah, I'm still in my my new playthrough since 1.5 hit.
Oh, what's new in 1.5? I beat the game and I've been trying to do the little side quests since then.
1.5 is the next gen upgrade for Series X and PS5 consoles.
Okay, so
they added a few secrets here and there involved, but I won't spoil that stuff because I still haven't found them myself yet. So I don't know what exactly changed, but there's hidden secrets in there somewhere, and I'm still digging for them. But going into Blizzard World, this map just is. I don't want to say it's equivalent of King's Row, but it's close. This map I always thoroughly enjoy playing on. It's been one of the top hybrid maps out of all the ones that are available. Of course, nothing beats King's Row above all else. But this one I would place it at a high second or third place out of all of them. And since we no longer have the assault maps like Hanamura or Volskaya Industries, those maps were removed from the remainder of the games for IOWL Season 5. There was a poll a few weeks back where, because I guess the actual Overwatch League they put in a request from the teams in there asking if they wanted those maps removed or played. And they voted to remove them, so IOWL removed them as well. So we just have control maps, escort, and hybrid maps.
all right, to bring it back in, because both teams are ready, Space Spuds are leading 2-1, and now we are on to our fourth map, Blizzard World. Here we go.
Welcome.
Let's see what these teams choose to lead with.
Initiating match.
God, such a pretty map. Makes me want to play World of Warcraft and StarCraft.
I'm just looking at the pylon and the siege tank, and I just want to play it again. And I can't because my PC is inoperable.
Mine too. Don't feel bad.
I mean, I could play it on my Mac laptop, but it crashes
Oh,
because
God.
it can't handle the processing
Yeah,
power.
I tried playing Sims 4 on my Mac laptop and it was terrible. I was like, ew, don't do this. This is horrible. Okay,
So let me make sure who's on what side. Okay, Space Buds are on the defense.
yes, so Space Buds are leading with a Ryan Diva, Tank combo following up with a Junkrat and Ashe combo with a Moira and Mercy combo, while Overlords are doing a Ryan Todd combo to start off with tanks, following with a Soldier and Junkrat, Mercy, and Ana. So pretty much 2 different team comps. I'm really curious to see how this is gonna go.
Defend objective A.
The Roadhog is what intrigues me the most about Overlord coming into this. Early pick on Ana for Banana. Early res coming out as well.
Having 2 healers in this fight is really crucial, so I can't really blame the Mercy for using that res at this moment. Oh, what a big dynamite.
Yeah, Ashe sitting up there with uncontestion for Space Spuds is going to be crucial. Plus with that Junkrat on the front line with the 2 tanks providing cover.
Right, and Space Spuds actually just cornered Claire Bear to the left of the point there from their view. It was really unfortunate for her. The team didn't really push with her to that left side, so she ended up being cornered and taken out. Oh, we already got an ult from Mercy. And a
Bob
Bob.
coming in as well. Tyre coming in, did not get anybody.
Oh,
Bob's crucial placement in the back line is where you want to keep him. You don't want to throw him right out in front of the gate, like on the front line. You want to throw him behind. That way it can force the team to turn around and look at him. Like right there we saw the Claire putting her shield directly on top of Bob to cover the damage, but that could have easily caused her death.
Or her teammates. I mean, I wasn't really a smart placement for her shield at all, in my personal opinion. I feel like
Activizer coming in.
I feel like Overlord kind of scattered, you know, as soon as they hit the point, which kind of led them to not being able to capture.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I've seen teams use what me and Sib sometimes call a tactical position in terms of like Call of Duty style gameplay, where they take sniper positions and spread out. And sometimes it works, but that particular time I don't think it worked out in their favor.
Not at all, especially when you have Ashe here who's pretty much uncontested, as you said, and boosted by Pokin.
Yeah, sometimes
Go ahead.
on certain maps that I've seen, like Numbonk and Watch Point Gibraltar, you can take a tactical position there and make it pull off, but here it's a lot more difficult, just because you got a clear path forward.
It was not.
And it's
not smart. Overlord just went right in front of that matrix.
60 seconds.
Oh no, that was their matrix. That's my bad. Now I'm the one confusing teams.
They do only have 1 minute left, so they're gonna have to make a strong push. Space Spuds does have 3 ults at the ready. Overlords does have 2. So they're gonna have to make the most of it of these last 2 ults that they got.
My problem with Space Spuds at this point in time is that they keep trying to do the same thing, and it's not working. My suggestion would definitely be trying a different route, but they were able to get some picks there.
And I think Space Spuds are gonna be able to hold into this first point.
No, with 10 seconds.
They are defending, right?
Yeah, Space Spuds are defending. With 4 seconds, I don't think Overlord is going to be able to capture them. So it'll be really up to them next round to make sure that at all.
Score.
Yeah, they definitely stop cold on this map, but this match isn't over yet. If they force it into a draw at the end of this would actually set up a interesting ending to this matchup, since I don't know if you've seen how a tie affects these games yet, but I'll just run through it. If a tie happens on this map when we go into Nepal, it'll still be 3-1, but if Overlords were to win on Nepal, making it 2-2, we would be forced to go into a sixth map, which would also be another control point, which would be chosen at random, and that would decide the winner.
Because they would be 2-2. That would be interesting.
Yeah, so a control point always guarantees a winner, whereas other maps can end in a draw. So if this does end in a draw, we might see that happen tonight.
New high score.
Yep, Overlord just
Which
has to do a really, really good job at maintaining like a choke point and just not letting them being Space Spuds, not letting Space Spuds capture like a tick at this point.
Let me show you how it's done.
I mean, having many hours played on Mercy myself, I would suggest to Scotty to not use that res right out of the gate. Save it for crucial moments where you need either the tanks or another support to keep you in the fight. Don't just throw it out at random.
Right, because the problem with the first, like the 7 res on the first point, the last map, was that their spawn was right there. So it would have taken about 10 seconds for the other support to get there.
Reinhardt is separate, yet they're down 2 already. This might... Diva's got to get out of there. She was anti-ed as well. Mercy is also out of position as well. Yeah, they're all broken up right now, heavily. It's just Mercy and Reinhardt on point. They got to get on the stall, and I don't think they're going to make it. No. And that is it.
Yep.
Space Spuds wins tonight's matchup, 3-1.
Unfortunate, but a very good win. And a very good effort for Overlord. They put in a really good fight, but it just wasn't enough. They really overtook them.
So based on what we saw here tonight, that'll push Space Spuds to a 4-1 record tonight, put 14. So in order for Blood Moon Knights to take back first place, they're gonna have to go 3. They're gonna have to win their game against Ohana Sirens and not be taken out by them. Otherwise, Space Spuds will retain first place. Overlords, they did win 1 round on Eichenwald, so that is gonna push them to 5 points, but they're still gonna hold 3rd place.
Yep, and
So still,
go ahead.
So it's still up in the air in terms of how the main plays going to tiers and groups in tiers 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Those can still change over time.
Yep, and with that, I think it's over.
So we'll see you guys for more games over the weekend and next week, and I'll try to be around more often to give my analysis of each game each time to give you guys a more update as far as, you know, what the stats are for each teams and what their placements are going into the playoffs, and even during the placements and possibly during the podcast as well, which we hope to launch within at least a week, or if not 2 weeks from now. So until then, we'll see you guys next time. Have a good night.
Bye.
Good night, everybody.